Hello everyone, my name is Sara and I am a new homeschool mom trying to navigate my way through this new chapter in our lives. This year we will be doing first grade and pre-K, and I also have a baby. If you are new, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. In today's video we will be unboxing our new math books, and this is Dimensions by Singapore Math.
How did you think that I already opened it?
You had a dream that you already opened it?
A chickadee broke. It was all math paper, and chickadee broke it. And then one.
So with Dimensions Math, you get a textbook, a student textbook. You get a student workbook, and there you go. And this is the teacher's guide. Now, as you can see here, we have it says textbooks 1A.
That one's colored, and this one is not colored, just black. It's just black, white, and gray.
So Dimensions is split into two halves. So this is the first half, Dimensions 1A. When we're through with this, we'll go ahead and order Dimensions 1B. I also like that the program is split in two. That way I didn't have to buy the entire program at once, especially if you are new and you feel like you are spending too much at the beginning of the school year. You can purchase half of the program and purchase the other half when you are ready. It was also affordable compared to other math programs that got my attention. Some math programs include a huge set of manipulatives, which can push them to the pricey side. This math program does not offer a manipulative set for you to buy. However, that does not mean it is not hands-on. At first, I thought that because it didn't include a manipulative set that it would just be bookwork. But on the contrary, the teacher's manual includes activities and a list of supplies that will be needed for the lessons. So I find this option much better because that way you can buy your own manipulatives, or if you have things around your home that you can use, then you got that covered. So from taking a look at the program, it seems like we are going to be needing a lot of this. This is a blank 10 frame. These sheets are what are called Black Line Masters, and these are found on their websites. There's a big list of things that are going to be used throughout the program, and it seems like we are going to be using this sheet a lot. So instead of printing it for every lesson that we will be using it for, I thought of printing it once and then I slipped it in this plastic pocket. Therefore, my daughter can use it as many times as she needs to use it throughout the program, by just using a dry erase marker. I've also seen they have black 10 frame whiteboards, so that should be another option if you'd like. Then it also seems like we're going to be using a lot of these, so I did buy this one. This is a set of linking cubes, 10 different colors, 10 cubes to each color. And we are going to be using these as counters also to show different quantities. I also printed these from their website just to have them ready and cut them out. I printed them out on cardstock just so that they could be a little bit more sturdy. We have these 10 frames. We have number cards, and then we have the number word cards. And so if you happen to have flashcards with these already, maybe you don't need to print this out. This is going to be entirely up to you, and that's what I mean that it's good that it doesn't come with a big set of manipulatives, because then you could just either print them out yourself, or you can, if you have something already in your home that you can use, then you could just go ahead and use that. From the Black Line Masters, there's a bigger list, but I've only have this so far because this is what it seems that we're going to be using for the first couple of lessons. As we get through the program and when we need more of those sheets from the Black Line Masters, then I'll print them out, as we get to those sections. So now I'll just show you inside the teacher's guide so you can take a peek. So again, here we have, this is the teacher's manual, this is the student workbook and student textbook. So your student would first work from the textbook, or the lesson would be presented in the textbook, and then the workbook is for your student, not this one. The workbook would be for your student to work on these are worksheets to worksheets that go with what the lesson was about. So here we have the teacher's guide, and this is the teacher's guide for the first part, 1A. So we have our table of contents. So right here it breaks it down for you. See, you have your textbook. Textbooks designed to help the student build on a solid foundation in mathematical thinking. Then you have your workbooks, and at the end of the section from the textbook, this pencil indicates what is the corresponding pages on the workbook. We have our teacher's guide, which is this one, that'll take you through the lesson. And then we have tests. These are optional. You could also buy the tests if that is something that you're interested in. And these kids down here are the kids that will be following, going along with your students and and showing up with help or giving tips throughout the lesson. Then over here on this side we have what I was talking about, the online resources. You have the Black Line Masters, which are the sheets that you can print out that go with the different lessons. Right here it says Letters Home. This is for the schools that are using this program. This does not apply to us. Materials list. Each chapter and lesson begins with a materials list, which gives you a heads up on what you're going to need for that lesson. Activities and the standard alignments. So here's just an overview on how to use the teacher's guide. And then here on this page we have the scope and sequence for the entire Dimensions math program, starting from pre-K A all the way through 5th grade. You could see here what are the topics that are covered in each level. So since we are using this for 1st grade, I'll just go ahead and show you some of the topics that are going to be covered for 1st grade. We start with chapter 1, numbers to 10, chapter 2, number bonds, chapter 3, addition, chapter 4, subtraction, and then chapter 5, numbers to 20. Then over here we have chapter 6, addition to 20. Chapter 6, addition to 20. Chapter 7, subtraction within 20. Chapter 8, shapes. And chapter 9, ordinal numbers. So this is for 1A. When we're done here, like I said, we're going to get 1B. And 1B starts off with chapter 10. This is for the second half of the program. Chapter 10, length. Chapter 11, comparing. Chapter 12, numbers to 40. Chapter 13, addition and subtraction within 40. Chapter 14, grouping and sharing. Chapter 15, fractions. Chapter 16, numbers to 100. Chapter 17, addition and subtraction within 100. So I'm just going to flip back so you could see here how chapter 1 starts off with numbers 1 to 10. Like any other program, it always starts off like a review. But you can see here how this, starts off easy and then gradually keeps increasing and increasing. But once you hit 2nd grade, you can see how here that jump. Chapter 1 would be numbers to 1,000. You could see that jump from 1st grade to 2nd grade, how gradually everything keeps on building in order to be ready for these topics over here. So we keep going. So again, this is the scope and sequence for the rest of the grades. And I think it's nice just to have this outline here and included in your textbook because you can see here how each topic keeps on building and building on. And then we have 4th grade and 5A all the way to 5B. And so now here, this is chapter 1, numbers to 10. The lessons, what page the lessons are on, the textbooks and workbook pages that correspond to that lesson, and you have your objectives here, that tell you what is the goal for this lesson. Then right here, chapter 1 starts. This is for the teacher to read. Kind of gives you an overview of what the lesson is going to be, what the lesson will cover. And then over here we have materials, what materials we're going to be using for this lesson. Black line masters. So these here are the ones that I printed out. It also gives you a list of suggested read alouds that go with the topic. And so I really like this part because I think these read alouds are a great supplement to the lesson. Then we have the activities. Each chapter begins with the chapter opener, and that introduces the topic. And so in the manual here it says that you could use this as a separate lesson, or you could go ahead and do this along with lesson 1. That is going to be up to you. Then here, this is another part of what I really liked about the guide. It's easy to follow. Here you see it has a small picture of the student textbook, so you can follow along with your students. Then right here it breaks it down for you, kind of guiding you in what to teach. At the end of the lesson, there is corresponding pages from the workbook. Alright, so this is Dimensions Math. And Dimensions Math is the newest series by Singapore Math. I'm new to homeschool, but it seems like Singapore Math is well known in the homeschool community, probably for their original series, which was Primary Mathematics. They also have the Standard Edition and a Common Core Edition. The Standard Edition is their primary series, but aligned to meet California standards. The Common Core Edition is also Primary Mathematics, but aligned with Common Core standards. So with all these different options, why did I choose Dimensions? I chose it for their teacher's guide. After watching reviews, I noticed that the teacher's manual was easy to follow, and since I'm new to homeschool, I was looking for something that would make it easier for me to teach. Some people may wonder if a teacher's manual is really necessary to teach kindergarten or first grade math, and that's entirely up to you. I really like the manual, and from flipping through the pages, I like that it not only guides you in teaching, but it also has read aloud suggestions that go with the topic being covered. It also has extra games or activities that reinforce the topic being taught. So for me, that was a huge plus. If you're interested in Singapore Math, it seems like any series you choose will be a great choice because they follow the same teaching strategy. This is a mastery program, which means it covers topics in depth where the students will be able to master, as the name implies. Another approach would be spiral, and that is where there is a constant review of past lessons. So a new lesson would be taught, but at the same time, something that was taught in a past lesson keeps showing up. Some kids might benefit from that constant review, and the math program that my daughter had been using when she was attending school was Spiral, and it was a great program, but the constant review felt like it was too repetitive. So you would have to figure out where your child would be better off, with either a mastery approach or a spiral approach. Since the spiral approach felt too repetitive for my daughter, we will now try this mastery style program. Also, Singapore Math is known to be on the advanced side as far as math programs, which might be a good fit for your child if you know your child enjoys math and might want something more challenging.
Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel. I upload weekly videos documenting our story. I also share any helpful information I come across in hopes to help any other new homeschool mom out there just like myself who might also be full of questions. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's homeschool together.
Thank you so much for watching, and let's homeschool together. Leave a comment and subscribe.